Good morning, everyone, and happy Sunday. It's July 20th. This is my next to the last day here at the Lake of View campground off of Lake Mary. And it is our Sunday draw for the collective. This week, I'm using a card deck that I don't necessarily use a lot. I've had it for a while, but I just don't use it a lot. And it was calling because I've been asking a lot of questions of the guides. So this week's Oracle card draw comes from Messages from the Guides by James Van Praagh. We're going to attempt this. Make sure I can read what the cards say. We had a little accident last night with a boulder, and the boulder one wasn't pretty. Very, very painful. And so if you happen to notice a big knot up here with all the weird funky marks on it, that was thanks to my head hitting the ground first. And then the legs got all scratched up and bruised and everything. So, but we are still here. Iced everything down this morning, put some arnica on it, and should be good to go. But nature can test you. As I said, okay, guides, are you trying to knock some sense into me, or are you trying to knock something out of me? Which is it? So they haven't answered yet. So we'll see what the cards have to say, even for me. But I want to welcome you back to our Sunday Oracle card draw. And if you're new here, welcome to the channel. If you like what you see, please consider hitting the like. And if you want to get notified of new videos, because there's new ones coming up, seems to be a little bit more often than I have been doing them, hit the subscribe button and you will be notified when a new video comes up. I have different playlists, one on healing the cataracts. I'm going to start a new one on kind of pets, and start telling some of the stories of the wonderful, weird pets I've had and the lessons that they have taught me, and some of the healing work that I've done with some pets over the years. So I'm going to be starting that playlist. Plus there's also videos on power animals, totems, medicine wheel teachings, all different kinds of things that you'll find on the channel used to help you in your spiritual growth, walking the path of beauty and spirit. So if you like what you see, like I said, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It helps grow my channel so that I can even reach more people. So as always, the question is, this time I just asked, what does the collective need to focus on for this week? And 3 cards just kind of flipped out of the deck while I was shuffling some. So those are the 3 cards that we're going to work with. And let me put these on so I can actually read what the cards say. So the first card was give without expectation. I love that, expectation. It keeps coming up. Be of expectancy, but don't be expecting. The second card is don't relinquish your power. Haha, see, I even read that backwards. And that's also very, very important in these times. You don't want to relinquish your power to anybody. It doesn't matter who they say they are, who they think they are. You don't give up your power. It's yours. And then the last one was practice moderation. So let's see if I can read these, because I don't know if the fall affected my eyesight at all. Already having issues with the cataract, so we don't need any more issues with the eyes. Although it did hit like almost right up where the third eye is. It's like this area right in here. So I think somebody's trying to give me a message here. So let's see if we can read this though. Give without expectation. When you spread light and love to others, it should be done without any conditions attached to the act. So you don't want to help somebody and say, well, gee, I helped you, kind of like you kind of owe me now. No, you want to be able to help people without any expectation of receiving anything back. If you get something, that's great, but don't expect it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it has affected my eye a little bit. Let's see. So we are all made of the same energy. So the good that you give out is essentially given to yourself. Go figure. But it's true, because we are all related. So what you give out, you receive back most of the time tenfold. Sometimes more, sometimes a little less. But the more you give, the more you receive. When you help others, you help yourself is the mantra of this card. What needs to be emphasized is that the joy of giving is your reward. Energy is constantly flowing, and by lovingly giving unconditionally, you increase the flow and bring it into a higher vibration of being, which in turn assists everyone. Giving is a part of your soul. When you are not able to give without conditions, your ego has issues of scarcity and or the need to feel acknowledged. When you give selflessly from the heart, you increase the energies of abundance and gratitude throughout your sphere of influence. Life is not a competition. We are here to bring each other, we are here to help each other. Focus on ways that you can achieve this in your life without consciously thinking about it. The best reward reaped are from acts that you don't even realize you have sown. So sometimes what happens is just by saying something or talking about something. I had a conversation with a young gentleman yesterday. Friday. And it's kind of like that the teacher in me, that it's like, because I know so much of some things, not of everything, but of some, and we got to talking, and it was, without even realizing it, I was giving him information that he had no idea or clue about. And he was very grateful for it. He was like, thank you so very much. He says, you have actually helped enlighten me even more. And he goes, and I appreciate your stories. I appreciate your teachings. And that's what it's about. You don't do it expecting anything in return. But the teaching itself, or the talking about things that you might have the wisdom in to other people to help them. That's the whole idea, is so that they can learn and grow. And at the end, it was like, well, you have a great day. You know, it was great talking to you. But there was nothing, done out of an expectation. It's like, I know this stuff. I've lived it for 35 or more years since I've been on this, the actual path and working it diligently. It just comes naturally. That teacher in you comes out, and it's like, this is what it's about, because he's studying metaphysics, so that's how we got on the subject. So that's what it is. You help people grow, you help people learn, and if you get a thank you, great. If you don't, great. Either way, it doesn't matter. But you're doing what you love without an expectation of getting something in return. So the second card was don't relinquish your power. So let's see what that has to say, besides the obvious. You have created a blueprint for yourself, and your role in this matrix of life is vital. Okay, see, I can tell the eye is affected. Okay, never be less than who you are. If this card appears in your spread, examine how you may be taking a back seat in the dynamics of this incarnation. Because if you're here on this planet at this time, I can honestly tell you, you're not here to sit in the back seat and let somebody else drive the bus. You are the bus driver. You are the driver of your life. You don't ever give that power up. And that's exactly in the dream state. If you are dreaming of you sitting in the back seat or in the passenger seat, that means there's somebody else in the driver's seat running your life. And that is not okay. You always have to be in the driver's seat, and preferably the bigger the vehicle, the better, because that means you're more in your power. Just a little tidbit on the dream analysis part. Yeah, so you never want to take a back seat, or you never want to sit in the back seat. It may seem like an easier row to hoe if you acquiesce to others, but in reality, you are doing a disservice to not only yourself, but to your soul family. Your influence matters. Your opinions matter. It is part of your birthright. Don't be so quick to undermine yourself and give away the strength of your convictions. The puzzle pieces that create the bigger picture don't come together as a whole if you choose not to participate. Have faith in yourself and know that your emotions are manifesting in a certain way and at a certain time for a reason. Many insecure humans try to take away the power of others to build up their own shortcomings. I have a few people I know that do that, and are doing it right now. Be aware that this is the result of a fragile ego. Acknowledge this and don't engage in their attempt don't engage in their attempt at manipulation. Be steadfast and have resolve. So again, do not relinquish your power. Always stand firmly in your faith, in your beliefs, in integrity, and most importantly, or similar, honesty. It goes a long way in helping keep your integrity. So don't lie. Don't cover up the truth. If you did something wrong, admit it, accept responsibility, and move forward. End of story. But don't lie. That's not good on anybody. Oh, goody, I'm glad we didn't get that one. Practice, and the one I just went by was patience is a virtue. Yeah, still having issues with that one. So our third card was practice moderation. You have chosen to incarnate to this physical dimension to enjoy and partake in experiences you could not have anywhere else. In all things, whether in the spirit realm or on earth, balance is the key to everything. Moderation simply means avoiding extremes in all things. You must learn to conserve energies and bring moderation in order to live a fuller life. Express yourself more clearly and cultivate the gift of your spirit. If this card makes an appearance in your spread, you need to examine what aspects of your life seem to overshadow the rest. Too much work, too much food, and too much stress are all common areas to keep a watchful eye on. You are a precious being, and you need to understand that it is your responsibility to bring yourself to a state of balance and moderation, or suffer the consequences. In life, there should always be a sense of cooperation with others. You are experiencing a time in our civilization that is saturated with stimulation and technology. It is therefore imperative to stop and be mindful of the moments that you are living. Simplicity in all things, mixed together with a sense of balance in everything you partake in, makes for a happier and longer life. So there we have for the reading for the week of July 20th from Messages from the Guides by James Van Praagh. I hope you have a very beautiful rest of your Sunday. It's kind of cloudy and overcast here, which is nice. It's a nice break from all the heat that we've had for the last week and a half. But I hope you have a very beautiful day. And remember, walk in beauty, my friends. Walk in beauty.